Everyone, and welcome to topic 10, the first lesson 10.1, day 1. Today we're going to talk a lot about some different circle terminology. So you see on this chart down below, we have the formal definition of a circle, which is the set of all points equidistant from a given point. Now, a reminder, when we have our circles, we name them using their center point. So let's say our circle was named with a point in the middle named P. We would use a circle symbol and call it circle P. A center then is a point in the middle of the circle. And again, this is how it is named. So maybe on this example, we have point C in the middle here, and C would be the point in the middle, this center. Again, it's just a point. A radius is a line segment connecting the circle connecting the center to the circle, a point on the circle. There are officially an infinite amount of our radii around the circle, and they measure half the value of a diameter. Now, a radius is a segment. So, for instance, if we have circle P and we have a point on the circle named D, segment PD would be the name of our radius, or dP. The diameter then is a segment that passes through the center of our circle, and the endpoints are located on the circle. So it's basically here's our center point in the middle, and then our diameter is going to have 2 points on the circle that have to pass through that specific center. So if we have X in the middle and we have A and B on the outside, we're still going to name our diameter with those two endpoints, so either AB or BA, but it has to specifically pass through that center of our circle with X. Next, we have a semicircle, which is specifically half of a circle. So think about your diameter each time is essentially going to divide this circle into two equal pieces. Again, that would be half of our circle. A central angle is an angle whose vertex is the center of our circle, and the sides are radii of our circle. So what that's going to look like is an angle in the middle here. Again, maybe we have circle X, and then we have two different radii coming from that. So maybe AX and BX. So our central angle is going to be this made up angle here, where X is that vertex here. And again, it's located at that center of our circle. An arc is a portion of a circle. So arc is going to be kind of this piece, that is located on that circle, on that outer rim. Now, when we name an arc, it's similar to a segment. Let's say it's XY, but instead of using a segment, we're going to use an arc symbol, so we know we're talking about a segment, or the arc, not, for instance, this segment that would connect the two. Now, a chord is the kind of other version of that. It is a line segment, or just a segment, whose endpoints are on the circle. So again, think back to kind of that last example there, X and Y. We're not going along that edge. We're taking that segment that will connect our 2 points. That's our chord. And again, we would name that with a segment bar, so we know we're talking about the segment, not the arc specifically. A sector is a portion of the inside of a circle created by 2 radii and and an arc. So how I like to think about this is it's kind of your piece of pizza of that. So in this case, we have this center here. We have this sector that's kind of filled in here. To me, I like to think about these are your slices of the pizza, or a slice of the pie. around that. If we flip it to the back, okay, we have an inscribed angle. This is an angle whose vertex is on the circle. So we see an angle like so, could be considered an inscribed angle. We also could have an angle, for instance, that maybe is on the circle and then opens up over here. This would also be considered an inscribed angle because, again, the vertex is on the circle. Okay? And we'll talk a lot more about those in later lessons next week. An intercepted arc is an arc whose endpoints are intersections of the sides of the inscribed angle. So think about, we have an angle, let's say here, one of the inscribed angles on our circle. The intercepted arc is going to be this arc that our angle opens up onto, so that we see that arc specifically created by our angle. A minor arc is an arc whose measure is less than 180 degrees. So these are going to be our arcs that are smaller than half of our circle, essentially. So for instance, over here, A to B, we would name it with 2 letters. Okay, again, it's less than half the circle, and we name it with 2 letters. Our major arcs are going to be our arcs that are more than whose measurements are greater than 180 degrees. So more than our semicircles, more than half the circle. We name these with 3 letters. Okay, so we have to have 3. So for instance, this one would be A, C, B. So we know we're talking about the major arc. So again, 3 letters on that. The area of a circle is the amount of space our circle takes up, and like other things measured in area, they are going to be measured in units squared. And again, that's going to be kind of all of this. Think about all the toppings on your pizza, all that space it's taking up. That's your area of the circle. The circumference of the circle is the distance around the circle. We like to think of it kind of as the perimeter of your circle. So instead of including all the toppings on your pizza, you're just talking about that outer crust and the length of that. Similar to perimeter, it is measured in units, not units squared. We will work more with these definitions and actually applying them in class. Thanks everyone for watching.